are there any restrictions as to what you're allowed to do with a house that you own? To mind come, for example, in certain neighborhoods in the West, you can only have your house walls painted in a certain color. You're not allowed to suddenly paint it in bright pink. You're not allowed to build closer to a certain distance from the neighboring house and such. What kind of legal framework do you have to operate within?
In Sweden, we have, if you're going to build your house 2 meters, within 2 meters away from your neighboring house's land, like you have to have a permit, or you have to have a,
same in France.
In Japan, you would think that Japanese building rules are super strict, which they are in some cases. But in some cases, it's not strict at all. For example, this Sangenjaya house, the one I renovated, when I bought it, it was a two-story house on 80 square meters. But on paper, it was a one-story house, 36 square meters, which means that the previous owner, 50, 60 years ago, they just decided, nope, now we want a second floor. We want a second-story house. So they just built a second floor.
Which is not recorded anywhere on official documents.
It's not recorded anywhere, nowhere. So it's gray in a way. You will need permits. You will need kenchiku kakunin, kenchiku kyoka in many cases, especially if the renovation costs more than 5 million yen. You cannot do electricity on your own. There's some plumbing you can't do on your own. You cannot touch any gas. I would not touch any structural integrity of the house without consulting with a pro. And when the renovation is done, you usually have someone from the municipality coming and checking everything out. With that said, there's also a lot of gray things going on, because if you have an akiya in your neighborhood, would you rather have someone taking care of that akiya and being like maintaining it and actually taking care of it with love? Or would you want an empty house that is, it could be a fire hazard, like what if the earthquake happens? What if there are animals living in there?